It's mid-September here in Mountain View, Hawaii, and that means it's peak pineapple season. The story of how we got into pineapples here is actually, I think, kind of amusing. Go back to 2007, my partner Ellen kept trying to get me to buy pineapples in the local farmer's market, and I'd go, those are the yellow ones raised on Maui. You can get the same thing at Safeway in California. Why should I buy it? And well, one day she found a guy who was raising the white pineapple, which is distinctly different. And she bought one. We tried it. I was hooked. That was it. From then on out, I was in love with the white pineapple. So back about 2007, we purchased 5 white pineapples at the farmer's market. After we got done eating them, we removed the tops, put them out in the field around the house. Well, it's 2016 now, 9 years later, and currently we are over 500 pineapple plants and climbing. Back at that point in time, our primary focus here was planting coffee. And so I've got 4 different varieties of coffee out here in the field, but it takes coffee at least about 4 years here to come into decent production. So in the meantime, we decided that we'd go ahead and set pineapple plants in between all the coffee plants. And so as you can see around me here, I'm surrounded by pineapples. At the moment, we're starting to cross over the hump here with the pineapples. We were completely overrun with this fruit for a while. But we've been picking it off, selling it. So you get the idea here that we have pineapples spread everywhere. So each time we'd come and find pineapples in the plants, we'd go ahead and break off the tops, break off the keiki and the suckers from the pineapples, and we'd turn around and replant them. We found that from one pineapple fruiting, I would get up to 7 offsets that we could put back into the field. So for a number of years, we just kept planting and replanting and planting and planting. And it was starting to get to the point here where I was worrying as to what we were going to do with all of these pineapples. The white pineapple is a low acid, high sugar fruit. It's rather perishable, unlike its yellow cousin, and so it doesn't ship well. You can get them off the field and get them down to the farmer's market, and that's about it. It's an absolutely delicious form of the fruit. If you've never had the white pineapple, you'll probably have to travel somewhere where it's being grown, because you probably won't find it in your local marketplace. It is a challenging fruit because it does turn brown on the inside quite easily, and you can't really see that from the outside. So it has to be picked on the green side to assure that it's a good quality fruit. But before we moved here permanently, I was angsting over how we were going to deal with all these pineapples. And so as we moved here in May and August started to come around, the pineapples began to ripen. I decided that the only alternative was to go ahead and put a sign on the road. Funky it may be, and an old sawhorse it is with a bunch of plywood scrap from my shed, but it's a signboard, and it's working because everybody traveling up and down the road has noticed it. And so I'm suddenly finding that all of my neighbors are showing up here at the house to buy my pineapples from me. Well, it's not exactly a first-class produce stand, but it'll do. Nobody's complained yet. Over here we have lots and lots of pineapples for sale. Some really big ones here. I've got my limes. tomatoes. We got bananas. A lot more behind them. I got Indian corn we grew. This is the little gems popcorn. That's gorgeous looking stuff. Right over here you can see the latest planting. You can also see how 5 pineapples can get away from you, because our numbers now are well over 500 plants and growing. And so every year we continue putting more and more of these tops in the ground. It's a really well adapted crop to the climate. I don't have any serious problems with this thing, and so it's a very, very good choice for us to be growing it here. Also, the local market demand is really high. I had one repeat customer come back yesterday. She bought 6 of them in one load so that she could have a party. I'm hoping that we're not going to get in trouble with the pineapple mafia around here, because usually these things will sell for $5 to $6 a piece in the local marketplace, and I'm selling them for half that. I mean, I only have to move them from the row down to the table at the carport, so my transportation costs are minimalized. Also, I am new at this game of selling pineapples in Hawaii, and the one thing I want to make sure that I'm doing, and that's selling out everything that I have here rather than having to waste it. At $3 a piece, they're going out of here like hotcakes, and I'm getting to meet everybody in the neighborhood. Right here you can see how we just continued sticking these pineapple tops in between all the coffee. Over here are all the tops that were put in a few years back. I'd say about 2 years ago I stuck that row of tops in. It all starts with 5 pineapples. There's a beauty. I do believe that I want to sink my teeth into this one. I've harvested my scrumptious looking pineapple here, but before I go about cutting this up and tasting it, I want to show you one of Ellen's projects over here. We were starting to get so many ripe pineapples for a while that we got worried. So Ellen went and bought herself one Class A Excalibur dehydrator made in the United States in California with all the bells and whistles. She's a beaut. This thing does a wonderful job. It's the Excalibur Deluxe. And you can see in there we got slices of pineapple. The extra pineapples are the small pineapples that might have a spot or something like this. We can recycle them all by cutting them up and producing dry pineapple, which is probably not quite as wonderful as the fresh whites, but boy, I'll tell you, it's pretty good. This pineapple is hopefully almost perfect when it comes to white pineapples. You see it still shows green on it. A white pineapple has to show green. You can't compare these to the gold pineapples, because on a gold, if the outside is a full golden red brown, that's a good one. In the case of a white pineapple, if it turns full gold in the outside, it's probably spoiled in the middle. And that fact, whether you are buying, selling, or just growing them in your garden, it's something that you really need to know about the white pineapple. It's probably one of the major reasons why it's not in the commercial trade much, is because it's a very, very difficult fruit to pick at the right stage. It's also hard to tell if it's overripe. Anyway, first thing first, we grab hold of the top, give the pineapple a twist, off it comes. Here we have a new pineapple plant. After removing the top, the next thing we want to do is cut a slice off the top of the pineapple with a knife. Yum, looks good. The easiest way to cut up a pineapple is with one of these handy dandy pineapple cutters right here. This thing works like a corkscrew. It makes it really simple. Now, there's more than one way to skin a pineapple, but this is probably the easiest way to do it. We just get that thing started like we were opening a wine bottle. Put a little pressure on it. Screw it straight down inside of the fruit. There we go. That seems to be about the bottom, I think. Then get hold of it and pull that thing right out, just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then what we end up with here is this vessel that you could fill with rum, coconut cream, whatever it is you like, and make yourself a drink. Put little umbrellas in it, you know. That cool? It leaves the core right in the middle there like that. Okay, so this was a really good one. This is going to be absolutely incredible. I wish you were all here to taste this with me if you've never done this before. So the handle removes, it's spring loaded. We take the core, we turn it over like that, and we get ourselves a stack of pineapple rings right here. If you take the stack and you run a knife down one side like that, they all fall apart into individual rings. How cool, huh? All right, here we go. Ah, smells like pineapple. Oh. Oh, man. It's really sweet. It's sub-acid, probably about half of the acidity of the golden pineapple. Ellen's reaching for a piece over here.
Well, after that explanation.
Oh, this is good. This is a perfect one.
Oh, this is really good.
Oh, man. This is absolute heaven in a bromeliad, I'm telling you. This is so good. Because it's lower in acid, it doesn't affect the teeth so much. You know, you don't get so much mouth burn from these. And so if you have trouble eating a regular pineapple, the white one is the way to go. Here is a piece of dried white pineapple. I just pulled it out of the dehydrator, and I'm going to sample this. Man, that is incredible too. It's chewy because it's dehydrated, almost like caramel-like, you know. It's very sugary and kind of sticks in the teeth a little bit. It's a little more acidic than the fresh one because we've reduced the water, but the sugar's gone up too at the same time, so it's a real sweet tart treat here, one way or the other. Whether it's fresh, whether it's dried, this is an awesome pineapple. I've been turning them into popsicles, which is really cool too. Fresh pineapple popsicles are amazing. Anyway, so there you have it. That's the story of the 5 white pineapples that turned into a farm. Happy gardening. Aloha. See you later.